Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? My strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Hey now, how are you guys doing this wonderful? What day is it? Monday? It's a Monday?
It is so a Monday.
Shit. Well, I didn't go to bed till like 7 a.m. this morning. So, kind of forgot what day it was. Sorry about that.
Bonus, you're well rested for tonight.
You goddamn right, I'm rested.
I, on the other hand, have been up since 5 a.m. Central Standard Time. So
that's
not
why
exactly.
I was like, you know what? I've been meaning to ask Hnoss about this for a while, and I got the energy. I was hoping you did. If you didn't, that would have been okay. No worries. We'd just work it out another time. But I just wanted to rap with you. That's okay. Yeah.
That's very okay.
So, before we get into the meat and potatoes, how have you been doing?
I've been doing pretty good. I've been optimistic because of seeing things changing on the horizon.
Really?
Yeah. And so I've been feeling good about things like this, where, we take a step. It's those Rube Goldberg machines. You got to just do some minor stuff at the beginning to get the ball rolling, and then all hell can break loose.
Goddamn right. Yeah. Damn right. I'm glad you're on the side to get the ball rolling.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because that ball could be a boulder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So, but just take some pushing, baby. Just take some pushing. All right?
Shit real good.
We'll get that down that. We'll get it down that hill. What'd you say?
She said push it real good. I told her to stop.
That's a what? I haven't heard.
Salt and pepper. It's been a minute.
Oh, come on. Salt and pepper's here.
I think that one's on my playlist for the book.
Yeah, it is. It's on the Conspiracy Prime playlist on
I could check.
Yeah.
'Cause I listen to it quite often, and I believe it is.
Yeah, for Gen
Almost
Xers,
none-
it is really just one of those hits all the places playlists.
It does. It's a fantastic playlist. In fact, I want to find it here, and I'd like to put a link when I do find it. But oh my god,
Yeah.
I have a lot of. Really, I need Christmas music in my list.
Obviously.
I don't want to hear Christmas music. I want to forget it because I just spent. Oh my god, you guys, I'm done with Christmas shopping. Like I got it done.
Yep.
Do you know how much money I fucking spent?
I'm not sure. $1,000.
Oh, a little more than that.
A bag of
Could've been more.
potatoes.
I should have bought a bag of motherfucking potatoes. The way they act sometimes.
Right.
I spent almost $2,000, and you know what? A lot of it is clothes.
Hey,
That
man, those are necessary things.
Yeah, but listen, clothes are cool, but they're girl clothes, and I don't know if she's gonna like them.
Right.
A, B, I don't know if they're gonna fit her. I tried to look at, I tried to sneak, and look at her.
Look at the sizes, yeah.
Yeah, her sizes and shit. I did good on the shoes, but I don't know, man. I don't know about these clothes and underwears.
Well, the good news is if she doesn't like it, you can make a day of it and take her to return the stuff and pick out new stuff, and it'll be a daddy-daughter shopping trip.
And you're goddamn right, a day of it. Because
Yep.
it takes about a half an hour to get there. Right. And then that's the fun of it, is driving there. The rest is just picking through shit that I have no idea what is going on. I'm that out of it. Except the band shirts. I like the band shirts, but they're $25 a piece, and it's the shittiest material you ever fucking touched.
Oh, I know. It's terrible. I agree.
That stretchy fucking.
Yeah, but it's a different experience now than it was when we were growing up, because back then it meant going to the mall, and the mall itself was an experience outside of shopping. The mall was a social experience. It was like going to a concert. And I mean,
you're right.
You sit down with an orange Julius in your hands and you watch everyone going by.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
You're nailing it. You're nailing it.
Yeah.
Like me, you get a hot dog on a stick, or actually cheese on a stick. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Cheese on a stick was the best.
And you and your friends are watching the people walking by, and you're commenting in whatever immature way about who the people are and what they're doing and whatever. It was just, that was how simple life could be. And we were just happy.
Yeah, we were. We was a little too happy. But you know what? I still remember being scared about Russia. But I was scared as a kid. I was just scared. I was just a scared kid.
But the thing is that, with us, them doing things to scare us happened once in a great while. It wasn't every single night's news. We watched Red Dawn, and then we were always watching every airplane that flew over.
Yeah, we were. That is ironic you said that, because me and my friends used to spend hours watching for airplanes and making sure they did not have a red star on them.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if a red star is indicative of anything, but it was to us.
Right.
I don't know. It's a red.
That's one of those parts of that experience we had growing up that no one's ever said out loud. It's just a shared experience that they don't know they all have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like that movie.
A lot of us.
Did you ever see Empire of the Sun?
Yeah.
Yeah, with what's his name? Batman now. What's his Christian Bale.
Terrible. Thank you.
Christian Bale.
I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, Christian Bale. He was just a kid, and I can't recommend that movie enough.
Agreed. Really good.
It'll scar you a little bit, just because it's kind of brutal. I mean, it's in your face. It's about a boy who lives in Germany, and all of a sudden, all the shit breaks loose in 1941, and he loses his family, and it's crazy. It's a good movie, though. Good movie. I don't think since tonight I want to spend my time talking to Hnoss and Odessa. I'm not going to do any type of Timble tonight because it's not that type of show. I will say hi to everybody, and we'll go from there. But you know, Timbles aren't for interview shows. Kind of. I mean, whatever. That was just something I thought of. I don't. It's kind of out of place. But I want to see her return to the mall experience. Yeah, me too. Because it wasn't the same. There you go. Pinzer's got it. My girl, we will timble ourselves. Thank God. Thank you, darling. So where do we start?
Yes. Where do we start indeed?
I think we start by mentioning the book.
Okay.
Just so that
Yes.
people have the chance of grabbing a copy. I just threw the link in the
Good
chat.
idea.
Once you
Good
grab
idea.
it, it's free.
And
Go ahead and get you a copy.
Yes, get yourself a copy. It is a great read, and even if you take nothing else out of it, it is a good read about a time period that is very well written, and it's a story about a person's struggle, and it's more than that. But read it, you'll find yourself at page 100 in no time. You'll find yourself past that in no time. It's not one of those books that you get caught up in page numbers. You want to read until the chapter, and then that's when that awesome thing comes up where you go, God damn it, I think I'm gonna have to do another fucking chapter.
I intentionally put cliffhangers on the end of every single one.
I know you did. I know you did that.
Yep.
but
thank you for noticing it. It does
I know.
mean something to me, you know, from the artistic side to know that did its job.
It did its job because I couldn't sleep until I read the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and finally I was cursing your name, and I must have fallen asleep at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But
At least you liked it.
Oh, loved it. That's why it's hard to explain to people what you're getting into, because you're not getting into hey, Matt, it's rum monkeys, he called us. You beautiful rum monkeys. I love that dude. One of the best dudes. But it's what was I saying?
It's that the type of book that it is keeps changing throughout the book.
Yeah, you couldn't it'd be hard to put that in a category.
Right.
It's a hard book to put in a category.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And which is good,
also,
which is kind of cool.
That's also one of those things that publishers will never touch. They only want books that fit very precisely into one niche category so that they can market it to those. And
I might have a publisher for you that publishes those kind of books.
Yeah.
So I will get with you about that. Let me talk to them first. And I will give them a copy of your book, and we'll see what goes. Rich New Design. What's up, Wes, my boy?
Hey.
Glad to see you. Dude, I haven't seen him in a long time. A lot of people coming out of the woodwork for you, Hnoss. Yes, but the book is a must to start with. It leads you through a tale that is highly nostalgic, highly emotional, but has a bright side to it that I found. Maybe it wasn't intentional, but I found there to be
Hope.
hope. God damn it, you
Yeah.
stole my word. Hope at the end. So it's not a doomsaying book. It's not a book that's telling you, you know. I mean, it does tell you a lot of things if things don't change, but at the same time, it's very known that change needs to be done.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna get done by itself.
Yeah.
All right. You need help. There's people, and maybe once people realize it, they'll get it in their hearts to help.
Yeah.
Because it's not a pyramid scheme. It's not something where Hnoss is trying to make
No, if it was, she'd be
extra
charged with that.
money. Exactly. She'd be charged for the book, which I think she should anyway. But her idea is that she wants it to the masses. And that, again, that's a reputable thing. When was the last time you saw Stephen King, Dean Koontz, fucking anybody give their book away for free just because they just had to have it to the masses? Mark Twain did that.
Mhm.
Mark Twain would give books away just because he thought they were important socially for people to read.
Yeah.
Right. And so definitely, who's that cutie pie on the right side of the screen? Hey, back off. Back off, Walt. That's beautiful Odessa. The beautiful Odessa. That's what you should change it. Everybody knows that anyway. God, how many times do I comment on you and fucking UFO man? Looking so pretty at UFO man. But
so where do you start your story at, Hnoss? Where do you start the tale?
Where do you go? Come on, Hnoss. I am.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you. And then I'll start asking questions when you're.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you have questions, let's get to them. And if the audience doesn't know what you're referencing, they'll ask about it, and that will keep the conversation going.
Okay. That's what you'd like.
Thank you, Second Star. That's sweet of you. He says we're all beautiful.
All three of them are beautiful. I know you're talking about me mostly, though, Matt.
That's right.
Okay. It's okay. All right. I am. I know I am. Maybe on another planet. I'd be very hot. Like Venus, because it's hot as fuck. So I would be hot in Venus. Yes, ma'am.
Will you bring your camera down a little bit? Because as the words pop up from StreamYard, they're covering the bottom portion of your face. And we like your face. There we go.
Better.
All right.
Sweet.
All right. Now people can see this glorious
Hey,
mug.
Doug.
Ah! Can you please go like back down again? All right. So, when did you start writing the book? Was it in Ireland?
In Ireland.
You were in Ireland?
I was in Ireland.
We gave you a lot of free time in Ireland, huh?
Yeah, I wrote the book once I had been there for a year.
Okay, so you were there in Ireland for a year.
Yeah.
Okay. So it took
you actually ended up staying for about 2 years total, but yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
I always wondered, how hard is it to, hey Doug, how hard is it to actually remember the like specific moments in your childhood? Now I know some things you're going to remember because of traumatic experiences, but I mean just the inane, everyday type things.
For me, it's not hard. I actually did a lot of neuroscience studies and put together information from a bunch of different research papers in order to create a retro recall therapy process. And then I incorporated that information.
Therapy process.
Yeah, I just created my own process that it restores memory from before, and it's a snowball effect.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where you do it and you connect to a certain memory, and following this process, you're branching out to other things that are tethered to that. And each one, it's like having a firework go off, and then all the stars that came out of that explode and go off at the end of theirs, and then all of those do the same thing.
Yeah, you have no control over the flow of what's going to come, right?
It's one of those things.
A lot of it's painful.
And when I developed the process, I expected it was something I was going to have to do over and over for months to go after specific memories. And it was just one of those things where after the second time I did it, everything just started bursting open at the seams. Everything started recalling on its own. I didn't even have to do it again after that.
I've heard that about a lot of people who write their kind of autobiographies, and and they are surprised that once it starts going, they start remembering what they were wearing, what the weather was like, what they did when they walked outside, and it is something that can be achieved because it happens to me a lot, but I tend to kind of block it out because those memories are kind of painful. When you should just dive headlong in.
Yeah.
And you should experience it, and you should, realize that, hey, when I did that and I was a kid, I didn't obviously have the faculties of today. Right. So I can't judge myself for being a 12-year-old kid that made a mistake anymore.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So it all of a sudden just started coming back to you. You started to get a groove. But what exactly decided? What was your overall decision to write a book, or was it just something that was always in you that you were gonna do?
The book was an alternate path to achieve the goals of the mission. So the circumstance was that I was going through different processes, contacting different people, offering up information, offering up resources to see how they would react and what they would do with that information. And before I left the United States to go to Ireland, I had attempted to contact the FBI field office in Seattle.
Yeah.
And the SAC did not respond. I didn't include,
which takes a ton of courage to do that.
Right.
In her position, for sure.
In my position, yes, because
that's what I mean.
You understand the stuff that's in the book, right? And that me being able to validate the stuff in the book, to prove the stuff in the book,
right,
means that my mere existence is a threat to national security.
Yeah.
I should be locked up. But it also means that I should be locked up in order to be in a protective environment, because I'm a critical asset that can't be lost.
Well, yeah, but you need to be put in a place where you can experiment.
Yes.
But I'm against you being put away anywhere.
Right.
I would rather you be able to do that freely and experiment on your own time with your own regulations and everything that you need to do.
It would be voluntary.
It would be voluntary. It would be voluntary. They understand that. But that's one of those things, is the awareness that from the moment that I started executing the mission, it's the awareness that at some point I'm going to be behind walls in a military installation. That's just going to be part of the process. And depending on how well society is handling the changes that it's going through is going to determine, how soon I can be back out amongst the population again. Because, all the stuff that we're going to be doing, we have the option of doing it in the face of the public and everything there. And we have the option of working with the governments of the world without the public having to get the full Monty. And, essentially either way, neither of them really requires me to be a public figure, except that unless I do things like this and speak to the public and reveal that information, then people aren't going to say, I need to look at that and see if this proof is really there.
Which, by the way, it is. There is an evidentiary archive to back up everything that is stated in that book, which hopefully she'll get into at least a little bit of tonight at some point. Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Get started.
But I tried going through, like I said, when I contacted different government agencies, contacted an editor from the Seattle Times, because it was all about trying to backdoor the information so that we didn't have to go the public exposure route. So like when I contacted the FBI, I did not tell them anything about the extraterrestrial stuff, didn't say anything about abilities, anything like that. It was that I sent an email directly to the special agent in charge, because I understand the way FBI email addresses work. And I told him, look, I am in possession of information of a group that is operating inside the United States government against the interests of the United States government. And I would like the opportunity to present you with what I have. Because it's about getting in the door, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a special agent in charge of a field office and you receive a communication that there is, clandestine operations happening inside the US government and someone has evidence on it, they're just going to hand you. And your reaction is to not reply.
Okay.
Right. And that's something I ran into on every level of every government agency that I contacted, both here and in Europe. And it was just astonishing. But my due diligence was to offer the appropriate governments the opportunity to control the flow and direction that operations would take.
Right.
And because I offered them the opportunity and they did not take it, then I am no longer required to listen to them at all. I'm still going to end up working with them in the long run, not for them, with them. Because the stuff that we have to do is too big to be done without participation from multiple governments. But yeah, after going through the process, I gave the European Union Commission the time to respond. They did not respond by the deadline. So I decided, okay, I need to take another route. And I took a month to write the book. And then I set it aside to do other things for a few weeks.
Had me help edit it, run through it.
And then did the edit on the book.
Yeah.
So
good.
Got the book put together, and as you know from having read it, it's designed with certain psychological processes in how the book is executed.
Which, yeah. Yeah,
But
I
it's,
can't.
it's that people can't handle the information that's in there unless you build up to it.
Yeah, it does kind of require a process. I highly recommend not skipping around when you read the book. Just start at the beginning because
Yeah.
you'll be very confused otherwise.
What the fuck is up with Wall?
Yep.
Anyway,
So yeah, Tim, yeah, it's not a matter of trusting trusting the media. The information that they offered up to the Seattle Times was just about a ring of law enforcement officers engaged in criminal conduct. That's as far as I went with the information, because if I had given them the information just on the criminal activity there, when the criminal when they finished an investigative report, it would have spawned criminal charges against the officers. That would have caused the federal government to get involved to look deeper at the evidence, and that's when I would have been in their pocket. Right. So it was not direct route by any means. I am a master tactician. I take everything from multiple angles. I set up opportunities for people to make decisions. And the world in which we live is consequences culture. The individuals that passed up the opportunities that they didn't know they were being given, passed up the opportunities that they were being given. So I'm having fun with it. I move on to the next stage of things. And right now it's just getting the basic information out there so that people who are intrigued by it, people who fit the definition that's in the introduction
oh,
book, will
right.
want to look deeper.
Walt, I was busting your balls. You better talk, or I'll take it as a fucking sign of war, and I'll fucking
Oh no, here we go.
beat your ass.
Too funny.
Okay. So, who do you tell? Like,
Yeah, that's the problem. There is no official reporting process that's available anymore. You go back 50 years and you literally could contact your congressman. Right. There wasn't a barrier. And we've seen it happen not just in government, but in companies as well. You don't have instant access for personal contact. You can't call a company expecting to speak to a human that's going to answer your questions. Only half of the companies out there you're going to get a human at all, and that's after you navigate 5 or 6 minutes worth of teleprompter menus.
Right.
Let's take it another degree on the separation of the public from infrastructure. And this one's important. News. Because you're a Gen Xer. You grew up in the same time I did. Whether it was the local radio station or the news station, there was a news tip line that you could call to report breaking news. And it would ring at most twice before a human was on the phone with you.
Oh, that, and they also used to do a thing called investigative journalism that they
Yes.
literally do not do anymore.
Yeah, and that was the response that I got from the editor at the Seattle Times was, we don't do investigative journalism anymore.
well, why don't you get on Gaia, go on Corey Good's show, and Corey Good will sit there and he'll listen to you and
Okay,
chop
so
it all up to make you look like an asshole, and then
here's where we go wrong. Number one, Gaia pushes false narrative shit that harms the world by spreading false information.
I know.
Corey Good is amongst the worst of them. One of the most toxic influences of the type of things that can be pushed upon the ufology community. The community, they know something's wrong in the world. They know they're being lied to. They're looking for answers.
Yeah.
And you got these charlatans that come up there that all claim to get information from a group that doesn't exist. And they all have different stories that they're all telling, but everyone should be careful not to offend them by pointing out that literally everyone else is telling a different story. And you got these programs that they're making on that channel where essentially they just comb the ufology and starseed forums to look at what the going narrative is, and then they wrap it up in some pretty CGI pictures and stuff like that. And people are just happy to be told that there's answers to things. People want to believe because they need something to believe. They don't like there being an unknown. So they'd rather invest in a falsehood than continue searching for the truth, not knowing.
So we've had somebody ask in the chat whether we can, read the back of the book to them. And my answer to that is there's no real back of the book, but there is a little bit of a forward, and I could maybe do part of
the Why don't you read?
Sweet. Let's have Odessa read it.
Hey,
I can manage that. So in broad terms, this book is dedicated to all those who sense that something is wrong with the world. You know parts of it, but haven't been able to put it all together. You know something needs to be done about it, but you don't know what to do. You yearn for the truth, but feel the walls that have been put up around it. More specifically, I dedicate this book to my loved ones. I know I've endangered your lives by taking this journey. You've accepted the work comes first. Your sacrifice means the world to me, and it will mean the world to everyone once they understand. There's a quote from Abraham Lincoln at the beginning of the book. I'm a firm believer in the people. If given the truth, they can be depended upon to meet any national crisis. The great point is to bring them the real facts. So I'll read you part of the foreword. I don't think you need me to read the entire thing. I'll just find a stopping spot somewhere randomly. Lightbringers have existed throughout history. Those who redistribute power by shining light on its corruption. They're dismissed, ridiculed, and silenced up until the moment the evidence comes out. That's why we must start by addressing conceptual limitations.
Are you referring to somebody at that point right there?
Lightbringers?
Yeah.
Several people.
Yeah.
They've existed throughout history. They're people that redistribute power by shining light on corruption.
See, that's what also you get from this book. Is it's carefully written to the point to where there's meaning behind things that just sound like a normal fucking sentence.
Oh yeah, I hid all sorts of little puzzles and things in the book.
So, and I noticed them, and so yeah. Sorry, I just had to interrupt that because I heard a lot more to that statement than what was being read. So I apologize.
It's a lot like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and once you've gone through the book once, if you go back to read it again, everything's going to look different.
I've gone through it twice, and then I've even gone through it a third time just to fucking highlight shit and revert back to another highlighted spot that then makes sense. So you're clever. You're clever. You're a clever one. All right, go ahead, Odessa. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It was inconceivable that the U.S. government would poison its own people, intentionally murdering more than 10,000 Americans. In the effort to enforce the theocratic morality of prohibition, they did exactly that. It was inconceivable that the U.S. government would keep Black men from knowing they had a communicable disease, preventing treatment for it. The Tuskegee experiment is now a matter of record. The program continued for 40 years, despite knowing a simple treatment of penicillin would have dealt with their disease. The result was the death of a quarter of the subjects, the infection of spouses, and many of their children being born with the disease. It was inconceivable that the U.S. government ran a project where they would steal bodies of infants or dismember their corpses to steal body parts. Project Sunshine was a reality. They mutilated and sold infant remains so they could study the effects of radiation from the United States atomic attacks against Nagasaki and Hiroshima. It was inconceivable that the U.S. government would dose unwilling subjects, including children, with hallucinogens to develop a systematic method for mind control. MKUltra, QK Hilltop, Project Bluebird, and Project Artichoke were eventually uncovered and confirmed as fact. It was also inconceivable that the U.S. government would protect Nazis from charges for their war crimes. After all, every U.S. film made about World War II paints the U.S. as the world's greatest opposition to the Third Reich. Under Operation Paperclip, Truman approved the creation of false identities for more than 1,600 senior Nazi personnel to fold them into the United States government as assets, shielding them from prosecution for their crimes against humanity. It's still inconceivable to most that the military-industrial complex has direct influence over the highest seats of command in the United States government. In 1962, the Joint Chiefs of Staff had no qualms with false flag operations, faking terrorist attacks against United States assets to justify the Bay of Pigs invasion. The Gulf of Tonkin incident was a pretend battle to justify the United States going to war in Vietnam. George W.'s weapons of mass destruction were fictitious creations to justify a war in the Middle East.
Yeah, they were.
Before the previous administration, it would have been inconceivable that a sitting U.S. president would issue a preemptive presidential pardon to the world's most prolific child sex trafficker, but George W. did it. This went past most of you unnoticed. When the Catholic Church's pedophilia problem was revealed as organized crime, it showed that the problem went all the way to the Vatican. Joseph Ratzinger was a legal architect for the system ensuring clergy couldn't be charged for their crimes. Victims would be threatened with excommunication if they were ever to speak about crimes against them or their children. Yes, the church's official stance was that they would send your child to hell if they told on clergy for sexual assault. Part of the legal strategy was moving offending clergy around to new locations when their crimes were discovered, giving them a fresh pool of victims where nobody would know about their past. As a reward for his contribution to the church, Ratzinger was elevated to their highest station, becoming Pope Francis. The Vatican's ordination of the world's largest child sex trafficking ring had been exposed for all the world to see, and the response from the Oval Office was to ensure no state could hold the architect of the vile legal maneuverings accountable for the crimes perpetrated against American citizens. I could go on, but for any reasonable person, it's unnecessary. You understand that conceptual limitations are independent of reality. Just as conceptual limitations keep you from accepting the reality of the world in which you live, what you're certain you know can be just as misleading. Since the dawn of civilization, every generation was sure it had mastered a complete understanding of the universe. This is the paragon problem. Just 4 years ago, humanity learned that water has two different molecular forms, ortho and para, the fundamental building block of life itself, and just now, science is exploring how these different forms may influence what's known about chemistry. What humanity understands about reality today was inconceivable a century ago. Do you assume that what humanity has learned in the last 0.0001% of its existence defines the limits of reality? Don't be that guy. When the truth comes out, no matter how crazy it seems, new boundaries are set. The only limitation of what's conceivable is time, nothing more. So I'll forgive your reflexive reaction to what I'm about to say. In 1991, corrupt assets of the U.S. government carried out a plot to assassinate a 16-year-old with significant supernatural powers. The attempt failed, but resulted in a cover-up that would create more evidence against those behind the assassination attempt. You're going to get the story and learn exactly how it leads the world to expose and eliminate the shadow government. This book provides a blueprint to achieve that goal. I was the child they attempted to murder in 1991. I'm a sleeper agent for a people you don't yet know, but you will by the time this book is done. I openly admit that I'm complicit in withholding evidence of heinous crimes. There's an abundance of unresolved murders where I could have exposed the perpetrators and countless more I could have prevented. At any time over the last 30 years, I could have exposed a criminal network that has violated the sovereignty of every nation in the world. I've allowed a great deal of suffering to occur because it was necessary. It was the price to bring us to this moment where it would buy us so much more. This book contains the educational resources necessary to expose the shadow government assets across their tiers of power. It directly exposes actors from the lowest level of the U.S. government up to its highest offices. It provides the means to dismantle the entire shadow government network. It reveals crimes they've committed for which they have not been held accountable. It also contains the informational constructs necessary to dismantle the U.S. government's truth embargo and the power it currently holds preventing disclosure of the truth about UFOs and the influence of extraterrestrial life across history and into the modern world. I'm going to stop there because I could continue, but I'm going to stop there.
That's a good spot. So does that sound like a goddamn good book to you or not, people? It that right there. She tickled my ass. She tickled my ass with a feather. Okay. How about y'all's asses? Did you feel that? Well, get to reading the book. It's free.
You're welcome, Susan.
And we're gonna, Yeah, and it was read very well too. God, you would be a good like
I should have
a,
her
a
do
good.
the audio.
I was actually
I
on.
think I think you should too. She's
I have
just
actually read the
she's hot.
introduction to an audiobook that is out there on Kindle. Another friend of mine is an author. Her name is Heather Fowler.
You should do it. You have a good voice, a strong command, and you read impeccably.
Thank
And
you.
you know what you're reading about, and it comes through. So yeah, you you need to do that. Shizzle on dizzle. So, what is the next step after, assuming you know?
Okay. So what we're looking at is that the mass public isn't going to get on board with anything unless they see something, right? And it means we need to create a circumstance where something can be created that
Right.
is going to create waves, right? That's going to
Right.
cause attention. And the way that I set the book up, I mentioned early on that I'm not actually telling you the specific documents for the archive references, right? But the thing is that throughout the book, I talk about circumstances for which there is evidence out there in the wild and things that are part of the archive. And what we need to do at this point is that my objective from the beginning is I don't ever want anyone to believe me.
No.
I want people to believe themselves. So I'm not laying it all out there and explaining to you, because with humans, knowledge that is not earned is not learned.
Now,
Right.
when you say humans, I want, just because I know, but I
Right.
just want others to understand what you mean by that. Did you
Yes.
mind kind of breaking into that a little bit?
Yes.
It's
So
up to you if you don't feel okay.
So it's something that if you haven't read the book, then it will alter
It will
the way
sound
that
outlandish.
you will alter the way you read the book, and it will sound outlandish. But when I say human, I'm referring to people other than me.
Right.
Okay. I am not one of the human species by particular factors, which is also part of what I was talking about at the beginning, that once information gets confirmed, that the government is not going to want me to exist out in the public. And it's not that, detaining me is for, any sort of criminal leverage or anything like that, because once they know who I am, they know they can't leverage me. But likewise, with the federal government's concerns over national security, with the knowledge that I have and the resources that I represent, me being out in public would create an opportunity for someone else to try to abduct me, to try to make me be an asset for another nation. And that's not something they could handle.
Kind of like with the Werner von Braun.
Yeah. So it's a circumstance where I become the new, nuclear weapons development program as far as they're concerned.
Right.
It's that it represents a lot of power, but in that circumstance, there's a lot of leverage, all the leverage I hold for the conditions. And my intention is to lead people into the process of making the right decisions, not to make the decisions for them. It's important that the
is
battle
important.
that's ahead is actually carried out by humans. I'm going to provide you information. I'm going to show you how to validate the information. I'm going to show you how to build the technology, the whole spiel. But you still have to decide what to do with that knowledge. You have to decide what to do with that technology. Okay, this is humanity's trial. And the circumstance we're looking at is that when you get a group of people together that go through the book and they start off by looking at every archive reference that's there, and guess what? I've posted the link to the drive that has all those digital files on it.
Yep, it's all there.
Okay.
The archive is available to the public. You can see all the evidence of everything she's talking about.
Yeah. So they can match up the individual records, and these are official government records, by the way. Police reports, court records, wire intercept audio recordings, attorney records, witness interviews, private investigator documentation. This is all evidence, not I held on to this because I thought it might be important someday. No, this is all legal evidence.
Tesla never did that. Edison never did that.
Yeah.
Right. So, but we live in an open source age, so
yeah,
that's a beautiful thing too,
right?
To be able to allow your work to be viewed.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure you can't do that to everything that you are going to be working
correct
on.
Correct.
Right? I get that.
Yeah, it's the threats that are coming require the development of sequential technologies, right? You've got to work from a point of a certain basic technology.
Cobra. Right. They're gonna come fucking hack your shit.
Yeah. But no, they're tapped into my computer. They know what I'm doing all the time. That's not a speculation.
I can help you with that.
Oh no, it's fine.
I want them to monitor what I am doing so that they understand what's happening.
Okay.
Because like I said, when it gets to the end game of humanity's survival, it's going to be about having people working with each other. There are going to have to be nations. Yeah,
it has to be that way.
It has to be about unity.
I mean, look, no man can survive on his own. They can, but look, if he finds, that guy's really good at cutting down wood, right? Yeah. And he thinks he's alone, right? But then he sees a guy, but that guy's got a fucking way to make water purified. So you don't think these two were gonna fucking trade up, and then they find a way to do it way faster. There's a pumping system that they found out about with the guy, so they go there. I mean,
society was built by collaboration.
It's all it's built by.
Yeah, that's the only thing that built civilization.
Not by intellectual property.
No,
that's
collaboration is what accelerates civilization, and competition restricts the development of technology and information.
Yeah,
that's just a mathematical fact. The more competition there is, the more humanity's progress is retarded in the appropriate use of the word.
No, I'm with you on that.
And so the technologies that I'm bringing forward are by definition volatile. Any one of them would be enough to upset civilization if it's not handled properly.
And to think if any of the things that you have going on in your brain that are anti-defense, that also puts you in a fucked up position too.
Yeah.
Because there's money in defense and in defense. Okay. Yeah. Which we all know is we have so much we just stick our noses where the fuck we want because we can because we got that technology. We have the warfare.
Right.
And you know that's where you would be probably the most worth.
Hi, suspicious guys. Yeah, it's where they perceive me having the most worth. And the thing is that I know a lot of people are like, don't work with the government. You don't want to work with the government.
Someone say barter.
And it's like, hi, let me give you a little bit of perspective on the way that my mind processes.
In order to get global cooperation, you're going to need high visibility, which requires government influence.
Right. The things that are going to have to be developed are going to require the participation of multiple nations, or
There's ways around that too.
a lot more of humanity is going to be lost. What it comes down to.
Wow.
There are universal things that have to be developed. So let me put it to you this way: if I wanted to, with the words I could speak in 60 seconds, I could guarantee the downfall of civilization.
Well, that would.
I'm not going to do that, but I'm saying that I could say key things that relate to the development of unified field technology. That would mean that one nation would create their anti-gravity drive, then they would have their warp drive, and then they would have the capability of having a bomber that could run a pre-programmed route around the globe in less than 90 seconds, having dropped 32 nukes on different capitals across the world.
I will say, I know how outlandish it sounds, but if you had read the book and understood what leads to this, you wouldn't think it's as crazy at all.
Right.
I highly recommend, again, reading the book. And for anybody who hasn't read it yet, that's out there, like Susan, she's going to get that soon. She's
read it.
Yeah. Definitely read the book.
I need to read it again because I was the first person to read it, right? I was one of the first people to read it.
Yeah. You were the second. I believe Jack was the first. Jack of No Trades, that's in chat right here.
Well, I don't count.
Odessa doesn't count because she was helping with the editing.
Well, fuck you, Jack of all trades.
He won.
Damn you. Well, at least I'm number 2.
But Jack has also known me a lot longer.
That's
okay.
True.
Well then, Jack, I take back the fuck you. I love you. I love you, brother. I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
He's like, hi. He goes, hi.
Yeah. Right?
Now, obviously, I'm not going to, speak those words that bring about the downfall of civilization.
No, because anymore, it's pretty much, maybe we're not spot on, but I think a lot of people have an idea of things because things seem pretty grim nowadays. But I'm sure whether those things are right or wrong.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't pressure you to say. So that's whatever you're comfortable with.
No, well, I am up for whatever questions you want to ask. This is one of those things that, like, a lot of the people that are in the chat tonight actually have read the book.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah, they were, really cool or they were there when it was read, and I wish it would be done again, but maybe on a different channel, maybe on Tim's channel, maybe something like that.
Yeah,
a good thing.
We'll make a thing happen.
That would be the best idea, is to get it on Tim's channel, and we'll get that.
I think the best idea would be to get all of the people involved in the community that are influencers out there together, maybe in Tim's channel, for a private chat that's not broadcast, so that there's no pressure on anyone and they can all be subjected to the information. I'll get a free copy of the book and discuss it and grill Hnoss. Why not?
Yeah.
I
think it'd be a great idea, personally.
So, Hnoss.
James agrees.
Yeah.
I agree. Anyway, to get it to the masses is a good idea.
And that's what I was talking about with kind of the first thing that has to happen now that the book is out there, is getting more people aware of the book, getting people to read it, because amongst those that read it, there are going to be those that go, yeah, there is absolutely no way to explain all this away. Let's look at the evidence. And when they look at the evidence, they're going to go, yeah, there is no way that can all be explained away. And the moment that there's something there, what that means because of a sequence of other things that are connected to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so getting a group of people together that say, okay, my interest is piqued. Let's check the evidence. Who then go through to create essentially an annotated version of the book that has citations, right? And you got the citation numbers there, and each chapter has its own references table, and you have that being given out to the public along with the evidentiary archive that says this is no joke. This is validated information. This is actual evidence. These are actual official records. Yes, the law enforcement in Washington state for more than 30 years has had in their possession evidence of one of these beings.
Yep.
So, can you I have two questions, but the first one is what to you was the most powerful moment in that was so hard to write that you almost didn't write it? Was there anything in there that was
The fire.
that really was just something that you actually thought, look, I might just leave this out? My mental health.
Yeah.
Was there any part? Obviously, I know a part that you might say, but there may be another part to you that was just in the rigors of writing. So that's
yeah. There is one part that was definitely excruciating. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the fire.
Okay, it was a fire. Okay.
Yeah, it's everything else. You know, the rest of the trauma that I went through, a lot of that was during that building stage of psychosis from sleep deprivation, right? So as traumatic as those experiences were, they're not something that were processed as trauma at the time.
Right.
But
Because
with
it's
the
fight or flight at that point.
yeah.
And
Yeah, but with the fire situation, that was one of those, you know, being with the kids all that time during the demolition and everything. And, you know, I was 14 years old at the time.
Which, please, right there, just in case, most people have read it, but just in case, you saw the kids after the fire that perished in the fire. You saw them afterwards. Can you please
it's at the house that burned down was one of my family's houses. I was actually there. My mom woke me up when we learned the house was on fire. I was there when the house burned down, when the 4 children died in the house.
So children died.
So the children died in the house, but the house was right across the street from my parents' church, which meant that I had to be around it for that. The house was also on the way to my school, the junior high.
And as the child of the landlords of the house, it was up to you to help with the demo and the cleanup as well.
Right. And it's that all this time that I was spending around it, the 4 children were there.
Right.
The children's spirits had not left the house.
So they were with you the whole time.
Yeah.
You were doing the house.
Right. And because of my, you know, I grew up with the ability to commune with spirits, so that wasn't, you know, out of the ordinary for me, but it was that for me, I didn't know anyone else that had that ability like I had, which meant there was literally no one else that could comfort these children, who could help these children. Right. So like at 14, I became, you know,
counselor to the dead, basically.
Adoptive mother to these 4 children until they could get out of the situation they were in, until they could be released from that.
And that goes further into the book. So, which is another good cliffhanger to get the book.
Yeah, we love the cliffhangers.
Yes, I'm telling you, he's a fucking pro at them. Dick.
Yes.
No, that makes for a great writer. Is what that makes for. And that I read a lot. I am big into prose. I'm big into everything from the long drawn out sentences of William Faulkner to the short,
Love
wonderful
it.
sentences of Ernest Hemingway. I love the sound and in the fury. I'm big into reading. I love it. And I found this to be up there with the Stephen Crane, up there with a a Mark Twain because they not
The craft
everybody
of storytelling.
huh?
This is the craft of storytelling.
Yes, but the
Yeah.
point is that some people can write about themselves and it wouldn't be very interesting. 90% of them. It
Right.
just wouldn't. They think it would be because it's about them. But really, to be able to sniff back songs, uh, the soundtrack to his life as you're going,
Yeah.
totally makes this alien into a human. And
Yeah.
that's what I found to be very powerful amongst this whole book.
Yeah, there's
Is
Finn,
also,
that
I forgot to mention, it's called Conspiracy Prime and it's on Spotify. Check it out.
grab the link.
I'll throw you a link.
Yeah. But thank you for
yes,
noticing that,
yes,
Gigi, because that was an important part of this process. Is that I had to be vulnerable throughout the book.
Very,
Right. The book
very.
I could
shows my
tell.
vulnerability, um, because when people start coming to terms with the reality of power and the truth about the universe and all that other big stuff, I don't want them to be afraid of me. Right. I want them to see, this is hate to use the reference, but this is the Clark Kent thing, right? Growing up in Kansas amongst the human population, learning the values of the heart
Feeling
and
different at every
interconnectedness of relationships, and then watching how that broke down and went away from society, was necessary for me to
hiding,
know how to help.
constantly hiding. What an existence, Nas. I
Yeah.
couldn't I couldn't fucking imagine. I can't.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even a popular fucking guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like I'm sitting here going, fuck. Look, I mean, I can only imagine the bullshit you went through.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you kept it close to your chest, but I'm sure you'd make friends and maybe sometimes you would confide
Mhm.
and I'm sure it all ended up the same fucking way.
Yeah. Well, it ends up the same way for me because I have really high standards for who I keep in my life. I have no
Well,
tolerance
yeah,
when it
you
comes to the
learn that.
toxicity. It's
that, that
it doesn't
that's
matter if they're blood relatives or not. If someone is a toxic influence on my life,
you goddamn
that's a
right about
negative
that.
that's a negative influence on my mental health. And if you understand how mental health goes and its connection to stress systems, the worse your mental health is, the worse your autoimmune system is,
And let's
the worse
face
you
it,
can fend off disease.
if
So
somebody's
toxic
fucking
people
with
are
your
literally toxic.
yeah, and if somebody really is fucking with your state of mind and your actual psychology,
Right.
it's time to pack the bags, right? And get the fuck out because that person is doing nothing but trying to hurt you at that point. But
Yeah.
getting back, oh yes, Odessa said earlier. In
Mhm.
fact, here, let me pull that link up um for
Conspiracy Prime.
Conspiracy Prime.
Or the
I
playlist
will
on
post it.
Spotify. Yeah. Give me one moment and I will be right back.
Take your time.
And water.
Water is good for you. Look at water.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so the playlist is pretty fun. I like listening to it just when I'm cleaning the house and I'm bebopping around or whatever. It's
Oh,
a
it's good.
playlist. It's a really good playlist for the
It's
time
fucking
frame and the
good.
era that a lot of the story takes place during. Highly
Yes,
recommend the playlist. It's fun.
me too. It adds. It not
Wonderful.
only it not only is good music, but it adds to the ambiance of the fucking situation. Like some
Yeah,
points of the like what I like is he's playing a song that is more of a cheery song during a sad situation,
right,
or and it's the and in my interpretation, it's to not want you to feel bad for him.
right.
There's still, you know, I just get the impression that he
Yeah, I
wants you
mean,
to know
empathy is
that
great if you can
things are gonna
resonate.
be okay.
Right. Yeah, empathy is great if you can resonate with what's going on. You have a personal connection. That's great, but you don't need any pity for Hnoss. Not ever. There's no pity
No,
required. It's not wanted, welcomed. It's unnecessary. They're all
exactly,
things
man.
that brought her to this current moment right now. Therefore, pity is pointless.
It is, and
Yeah, and
it's in
there's
the
definitely
past.
hope. It's definitely a hopeful story and empowering, 100% empowering and hopeful.
That's why I've always held on to it, and I've read it multiple times. And I always go back to it with Nas. I know a lot of people don't even bring it up with their
Yeah,
what
Yeah.
since then. I am a big proponent of it.
Yeah.
It not only resonated with me, but it's something that I think should constantly be pushed forward. And
I agree.
yeah.
I would like to help in any way
and
I can.
and I have to say I'm glad for the conversations that we have about it. It's part of my thing is knowing that the information connects with people, that the technical execution of what I intended to do with the book was there. That's part of it, but part of it is that this allows me to connect with people.
Yes.
It's very difficult.
And
Yeah, I could understand
yeah,
because we're not easy,
yeah,
and I'm sure you're complicated as fuck too. So you add the both together.
She has a personal interpreter. Just
yeah.
saying, when it
Yes.
comes to humanity, she has a personal interpreter.
Yeah.
Well, could have picked a better one than
And that's one of
that.
she is actually has override authority on major decisions that I make, because
Well,
I will slipstream into a place where I'm
You have no
not
empathy.
connected to my human side, and I'm purely in the data processing. And
Based on the data, this would be the best thing overall. And I say, wait a minute, you have to give people free will. You can't make those types of
well, that's
decisions.
important.
No, you don't get to
That's
do that.
important to know. It See, this is the shit I wanted to know too. Is the daily kind of way it works? Because yeah, I could see that you would need an interpreter. You're
yeah,
not Alf.
right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, aside from not eating cats,
I love cats, just not with barbecue sauce.
Right,
Right,
exactly.
right. And you come down here not sounded like you just fucking walked off of an improv stage. Okay, he has more one-liners than I do
Yeah,
when I go to Tampa Improv. All
yeah,
right, the motherfucker dwarfs me. Yes, they're not funny, but could you go on after Alf? No. All right,
right.
sorry.
Exactly.
I get off on a tangent. Sorry, Alf. You fuck.
But yeah, it's nice to connect to people, and I
I'm glad you do because I wouldn't have met you otherwise. And maybe not through those channels, but I do believe I would have met you regardless.
yeah,
Um, um, so back to the book.
yeah,
Um, let's talk about the well, after you were basically told that we don't believe you about this
Oh,
situation that you went through. What?
no, nobody said that.
No.
No,
Okay.
are you talking about when I was in Ireland or what?
No. I'm back after the fire.
Oh, okay, yeah. No,
Right.
it was not a question of them not believing me.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, the kids showed me all the evidence in the house.
Her parents believed her so much they had her exercised multiple times.
Yeah.
They knew it was real. They
Yeah.
just thought it was, eventually, originally they thought it was like the work of demons, and then they decided no, it's the work of God because she is speaking to help and all that.
Right.
So they
Well,
Yeah, it's my parents knew about my ability to commune with spirits.
Yeah.
You know, they were the
pastors.
the pastors for the region whenever there was a haunting, a cursed object, a possession, any of that kind of stuff. My parents were the ones that all the churches in the region knew to call in. They were the ones that were dealing with that Hollywood stuff. People levitating, furniture flying around the room. Yeah, my parents were dealing with that.
were
So
they demonologists?
no, they're pastors.
Oh, pastors. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, they were used to that, and my communing with spirits since I was a kid, that wasn't a big deal. My mom was always certain that I would follow them in the into a life in the cloth. So
That didn't sound appealing to you?
actually, no. While I was in prison, I had spent a couple of years doing
You're right.
seminary classes while I was also doing my electronics stuff.
Can you
And
elaborate on the prison?
prison. Prison was a place where I met some of the best friends I ever had in my life. The prison system.
How old? How old were you then?
I was 16 when I was sent to prison, but didn't actually get moved from the jail to Shelton until I turned 17. And at the time, this was when they just started
Now wait a minute! Don't
experimenting.
give too much away about the circumstances surrounding that because that is definitely talked about in the book. So don't give too much away.
Right.
Just
But
say it's irrelevant to the big story, but it is
Right.
interesting information. So
it's just that they were just beginning to experiment with putting children in the adult criminal system here in the United States and in Washington
Lucky
specifically.
you.
I was the
Lucky
experiment
you.
because when I got into the Washington State DOC, when I entered the prison system,
Oh,
I was the youngest
motherfucker.
person. I was
In
the youngest
Washington
person in the
State
prison system.
too.
Yeah.
In Washington State too.
Yeah.
That's where that's some hard. I've watched prison shows, and that's one of the hardest prisons out there, dude. Is in Washington State.
I was
Wow.
and yeah, prison was an experience. It was just part of the
I
process.
remember why you went, and I remember the situations behind it. I won't talk about it at all because Odessa is right. But I just wanted to touch on that just a little bit, just to see.
Mhm.
And to learn that you were, they just started that as as an experiment.
Right.
Right? It's just a fucking experiment we've been thinking about. Next year we might try 16-year-olds, but we're starting 17 just for shits and giggles. Make a little more money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they got away with it, because they got to experiment with declining a 16-year-old But then, I was about to turn 17, so officially I wasn't sent into the DOC until I was 17, right? But it meant that they had then set precedent on declining a 16-year-old. So now 15 wouldn't be that much of a stretch. And then 14, then 13, then 12, then 11.
Yeah.
I was the domino that started that process.
Yeah.
Which is horrible. But again, all the things that we have to endure to get us to this moment where we can fix everything. Right? It's like when you're going to clean the house, the first thing you're going to do is make it a lot messier.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. You gotta get all the shit out the way.
Yeah.
Throw it on the floor.
Yeah.
And get to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Suspicious Skies knows the sound of those doors.
Or you could be like me and I have a maid. So sorry. I get the throw everything.
You're right, Suspicious Skies, that this is programming for what's coming.
And no, it's not my wife because I'm not married. I hire a cleaning service. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. I wish I could.
They would not want
to keep my house.
Dude, it is so fucking worth it. And
it's not about that. I would pay the money. It's just how much they would end up charging me. I have unfinished wood floors that are 130 years old. I mean, my house is really hard to clean.
I fucking
see.
I've had the same lady for about 10 years. And she is a Cuban lady. And God bless her soul. Every time she comes here, she brings me food. And it's all ethnic food that is so fucking plantains.
Oh, like, yum.
That are fried and have powdered sugar on them. And I mean,
delicious.
And they bring, and sometimes she'll bring her son over, and I love them. I love them. I got to pay them a lot for Christmas this year. They always expect the fucking.
They deserve a bonus. I mean, she brings you food. She feeds you. You got to give her a bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, they always need a bonus.
Yeah.
But that's all good. I bought her son a PlayStation 5. I thought he would like that. He's always talking about it.
Nice.
Anyway.
Nice.
Well, the least I can do. He's a sweet kid. Sweet kid, and he's kind of gets bullied at school. And when I got bullied at school, video games were my solace. I got to go to Hyrule. I got to go to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yep, same.
So
that and music. And
now this kid can go to can go to his own Hyrule or his own Skyrim or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
But her mom or his mom asked me if I'd like to go to dinner just so she could pay me back for the thing. But I think she's hitting on me. And I'm not interested in that. So
right. So you declined dinner politely, I hope.
I didn't answer. I just said, "Wait, yeah, I would. That sounds nice." I turn into a retard as I start going. I like to make Elvis movies.
Oh my god!
And then it scares them away. So typically that works, but it didn't work on her. She's like, really? What movies? What Elvis movies? Okay, fuck me.
You tried. Oh, that's fucking funny.
Hey, Susanna Morjean, proud single mom. How are you doing? You put like done.
Nice.
Good to see you here.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, madame. Glad you stopped by.
So I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to go pretty soon. I have to be up
yes.
for work in about 7.5 hours.
Look.
So, but I am glad I was able to be here, at least for part of it. Don't let me stop you. Please continue.
Oh, okay.
Now let me leave and
Yeah.
stop you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
we're
talked about
just
it
gonna.
beforehand. She's still got to get up at 5 for work.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen,
Morning.
I understand. You got to have dreams about Gigi too. That takes a lot of time.
Well, duh.
Let's
I
go.
mean, it's going to require a lot of time.
Exactly, because I work it. I work that shit. Yeah, we'll probably go to about 11, right? How's that sound, Hnoss?
We will go until you don't feel compelled to ask questions anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep talking.
I got a
One way
good
or
nap
another.
in today.
Good night,
You slept
everybody.
late today, but we're good. Just do whatever we need to do.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. I got to go.
Bye. Love you,
Bye,
kiddo.
Good night. Here, I'll get your hand in. I can't lean. Lean.
You can't. There you go.
I
There.
can barely reach.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Jack says goodbye.
Oh, goodbye, Jack.
It was Chicago 420. Good night.
Yep.
So they're all saying goodbye to you now.
goodbye, you sex thing.
All right. So if they haven't figured out, the book is just loaded with some wild and compelling things right now, then they're not going to figure that out. But knowing the things that we've talked about outside of the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's look at some questions down that path, right? I'm going to wait until you're done there, though, because that looks really good.
It does look really good. That looks so good.
Sorry, it is really good. Sorry about that. That was a new one too. This is the hell is it? This one is red velvet cheesecake. Pretty good.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Sorry. All right, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Oh, no. What I was saying was that we've already been talking about like the layers that are designed into the book, you know, and the thing is that you're just going to keep finding more things that are hidden in there, but the book itself becomes the framework for a group of researchers to validate the information in the book, right? And when they get that information together, that's something that people are going to feel compelled to share, right? It's not everyone. Not everyone wants the truth, right? But
you are very right. Ignorance is bliss.
And the beautiful thing about this entire process is that the people that don't want to find out the truth and block themselves out of that are also removing themselves from having a voice in what comes next. And I'm more than happy to remove those voices from what comes next.
I think if you were to shoot red lasers out of your fucking eyes, then things would be 1,000 times different. You know what I mean?
Worse, yeah, because displaying any actual abilities like that is something where they would automatically say, this means that you are a weapon. You are an unregulated weapon. You are a threat. You are a threat to all of us because obviously you would be considered an alpha predator in an environment we're in.
I'm just telling you what things that I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't understand where that concept comes from. They asked Jesus to prove himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look how that happened. Look how that ended up for him.
Yeah. It's not a thing that helps. It's people are only ever convinced by themselves.
Right.
And
you're not trying to convince and get a David Koresh like army to live in Waco, Texas, in a bunker and fucking. Even though I think that was perfectly fine. since
No,
historically speaking.
I would love to have a
But
village in the Rockies or something, you know. But
yeah, but
that's really
but
just to be
it
able to.
only gets it only gets hairy whenever you start having a lot of weaponry up there, like
Yeah,
the ATF gets involved, or you're growing a lot of a grossly, a gross amount of marijuana. Gross.
yeah,
Um, you know, but
and
we got
yeah. I
Matt.
just need to legalize it.
We got Matt though.
Yeah,
Matt would come with us for sure. Um, he's my sleeping buddy, and
right,
yeah, and he would show us everything to do, every
right.
fucking thing. And I know how. Look, I'm an outdoorsman too. I don't look like it. I don't. Okay, but
Mhm,
I've been doing it since I was a kid.
right.
And I know how to handle myself and do things out in the woods myself. I can shoot, but I love bows. I'm a
Yeah,
bow hunter. I can tell morel mushrooms from um um I can't remember a bad one right now. Doesn't matter. I wouldn't let you eat it anyway because I
yeah.
couldn't think of the name of it. And usually it has a red on it. You don't want to eat. No, some do.
Chanterelles.
No, no, but morels are
Mo-
like
Yeah,
are like meaty,
yeah,
and they are so fucking good. They're expensive. You
yeah.
find a bushel of morels, but anyway, we didn't come here to talk about morels.
I love mushrooms.
Yeah,
They're my favorite
I
hybrid.
like. I just love going out in the woods and gathering.
Mhm.
Hunting and gathering. And I would love to just go back to a cabin
Yeah,
and just survive off the land,
yeah.
I know it sounds very fucking of mice and men, but it's the truth. I'd love to live off the fat of the land.
I think with a lot of us Gen Xers, there's a stronger desire for that. Um, you know, we were the grandchildren of people that lived in a world without electricity, right?
Mhm.
Um, we were not that far off of pioneer days. I grew up in Pioneer City. Well, city's too big of a word. It was a town. Um, and we still saw the connections. I had milk in gallon jars because it came direct from the dairy, right? You know, and I
Yep.
don't mean like the dairy processing plant, but I mean the dairy farmer.
Exactly.
You know, um, we did making our own butter, by skimming the cream off the milk and all of that. We knew that there were lean times when we had to get creative with what we needed to get by, and the part of the problem now is that humans are being pushed into this survival state all the time, but the survival state is not linked with exploration, right? It's not deciding to put yourself in a survival state because it's part of pushing yourself to grow, because evolution is the product of adversity, right? You need challenges to grow. But everyone's
And industries and that are backing the idea
suspicious guys. That
because
question, do I dream or astral travel? That's actually covered in the book.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I'm trying to remember the answer. If I'm not mistaken, it's astral travel.
It's that I used to astral travel every night when I lay down to go to sleep, until essentially I just got repeatedly put through uh, traumatic exorcisms because I would do that, and had to learn how to dream. My best friend at the time, Tommy, taught me what it was to dream.
Okay.
And so I suppressed my
Got it.
my
Yeah.
astral projection ability to try to make mom happy.
Mom happy.
Yeah.
How is now? I get the impression you and your mom aren't going to get together for lunch anytime soon.
Oh, we actually are.
Uh,
The thing is that, like, what is in the book is true to the time. And my mother and me did not have a good relationship when I was young. But in recent years, I've come at things from a different angle. She's come at things from a different angle. And, I'm going and participating in the culture of family.
it's a good culture, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It really is. It's hard because, excuse me, as humans, we take it for such granted, and because we expect you're going to be there tomorrow, you can make it up to you tomorrow, right? That's the
Right.
that's the thing. We don't. We have short. I mean, some people, not maybe not everybody. Maybe I'm speaking for my stupid ass self. I don't know, but I'm trying to work on that. I go to counseling. I just did count. I just went to counseling today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did, and
Good.
it went good. Everything's still my fault, so that's good.
I Here's the thing. I literally know the feeling, but on the grander scale of what you just said, everything is my fault.
It is.
And it literally is. And you don't know the backstory that's on that. But oh, frag. So let's get fun with it. And the people that don't know what's in the book don't know what's in the book. So they have no reason to believe this, and that will make it funner for me. Because again, I don't want you to believe me. So here's the deal. The species that most of the people out there in the community call reptilians. Their proper name is Fomorian, by the way, which
No, it's not. It's the Grimoire. What the guy said they were? What do you call them?
Oh no, he kept saying Dragos.
Dragos. The
Right.
Dragos, and they have different species, Subdracos, Draco Juniors, Draco Seniors.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is, I don't rip on people when it comes to that. Part of the, the
No,
interview
but that
process
was ridiculous.
I trusted the intellectual capacity of the audience to perceive that.
And you
judging by the
got it.
comments that were happening at the time, I got it.
You got it. Everybody fucking jumped that dude.
Now, listen, when it comes to these interview processes, for me and what I'm doing, it is of extreme value to see what narrative the different people operate under, because that's gonna tell me how much of the truth has managed to seep out and saturate into the public sphere.
That's it. Seep
out
like a fucking slime.
And even people that are operating on a complete fictionalized narrative that they've created for themselves to try to feel important or powerful or whatever the case may be. The thing is that they went on to ufology forums, onto Reddit, onto Starseed forums. They've watched a bunch of videos to pick up the lingo and the commonly accepted narrative of things that are out there so that they can try to get acceptance for the narrative they start off with. And then after they get a little bit into it, they come up with a big extreme.
Yeah.
I have been chosen to be the ambassador to your people from these other people. I just performed 20 years of military exercises over
I've
the
been
weekend.
given plans to make a hover car that'll have it a year.
Right.
And
hey,
I wanted to tell you here,
yeah,
that
and yes, Suspicious Skies, the Draconians are different than the Reptilians.
Yes, now listen, a Draconian. In fact, I'm gonna pull it up. The only encyclopedia that or the only alien book that matters. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. This is the only one that matters, people. Do you not see it? Okay. This is life, baby.
Quite legitimately, there's a lot of real species in that book.
I know this. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know. And the Draconian is in this. And let me tell you, in the gold box games on PC, they're goddamn indestructible. And once you beat one, they explode.
Right.
They take half your damn hit points with them too, fuckers. So if you ever come across a Draconian, best thing is don't kill him, because he's gonna get the last fucking reptilian laugh on your punk ass.
Yeah.
You better hope it ain't no Draco, a fucking a Draco Lich coming at it after
the Draco Lich. Yeah, they're the worst. I mean, I'm sorry, just touching you for negative levels. It's
ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Look. Well, it doesn't have a picture of a Draco Lich here, but it says that the creation of a Draco Lich is a complex process involving the transformation of an evil dragon by arcane magical forces, the most notorious practitioners of which are members of the cult of the dragon. The process is usually cooperative effort between the evil dragon and the wizards, but especially powerful wizards have been known to coerce an evil dragon to undergo the transformation against its will. They call that RAPE, baby, even in the dragon world. So there you have it. That is your bonus Draconian of the day. Now, they are born through very sick and perverse manner.
The Draco Liches, yep.
Yeah.
But
that's
D&D, of course. But yeah,
yes, we know the Dragos.
The distinction. Yes, the the reptilians, proper name Fomorian, themselves are the enemy of the dragons. You go to understand why you've got the misallocation of the concept of Alpha Draconis being the ones stirring up trouble around the world. You actually have to study much deeper across global history. Because, when you look at world history, you find that across the world, the dragons were the creators, life bringers.
That's part of stories and definite religions.
Yep. And it's not until Rome invaded the Northern Isles and established Britain that the stories of dragons being evil and having dragon slayers became a thing in their narrative. Okay. And
I was just watching that movie. Do you remember that movie, Dragon Slayer?
Yeah.
I was just watching that last night.
Yeah. And
Great
this
movie.
goes back to how the Fomorians were influencing things here, because the Fomorians get in good with people who are growing in power so that they can manipulate them. And all these people that are in a position of power are told by the Fomorians, the lizard people, who do not appear to be as lizard people at the time. They do psychic projections.
Are they more like the Sleazdak?
Meteor,
Sorry?
like meteor, kind of the way, like
Meteor. Like, what do you mean? Like,
when Doc Connors becomes the lizard,
who?
Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. So they're more Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Meteors. So they're more intimidating.
Yeah,
Because he's intimidating.
yeah, like pit bull alligator men, right?
Oh, that's handsome.
Mush that together. That I'm sure AI would do a great job with that.
Oh God! Here, wait a minute. Let's do this. Hold on. I'm gonna do it. If my phone wasn't dead, I would have done it.
Yeah.
God bless it. Wait a minute.
That's all right. But anyhow,
no. It's okay. I just need to charge it because.
Yeah, you charge it. But anyhow, the Fomorians have the ability to create psychic projections, right? To insert an image into people's minds, give them a vision, right? So when they appear to somebody,
that's fucked up, though.
Yeah. But the thing is that a lot of people who have reported abduction experiences reported imagery being put into their heads.
Well, now, Hnoss, hear me out. I had the projection of a nasty creature in my head after I fucking woke up from a sleep paralysis incident. I was fighting the whole time with all my might, and I broke through. And this thing that I could see in my mind's eye that was in the corner of my room was like, whoa, like almost like, this doesn't happen very often or whatever. And
yeah, like
he basically walked through my wall and left. And the bastard was the scariest. I told everybody for the longest time because I didn't want to. I didn't until you said that I didn't want to. I'm not going to say that because I didn't know how to really put it. But it does look like that. It looks like a pit bull.
Pit bull alligator man.
And look, I'm not
down. That's the description. You've never talked to me about that before.
No.
That's not something I would know unless that was something I know.
No. And he freaked me the fuck out because except for he looked scared. He looked not scared, but he looked like I gotta get out of here kind of thing, right? Like, all right, you know. And I don't know what he was doing, but it felt like spider webs, like you know, all like just all around me,
like the static electricity from the old cathode ray tubes.
Yeah, and I'm right here by my head, right? I can talk to myself, and I can hear myself. And I'm telling myself to do this, but I'm using the most vulgar words. I'm calling myself a pussy. I'm calling myself an asshole, a weakling. You know, get up. And it was finally, I just broke up out of it, stood right up. And that thing was right there, but only for it wasn't just standing there and it looked at me and I was going to do it. It was like a vision of it. Like had it been daylight and I saw an image of what it looked like. It wasn't like it was there.
Right.
But it sure as fuck left. And I saw it leave because it was like a blur. and it was
Yeah.
right through the wall.
Right.
And I can remember going up. I can remember going up to the wall and feeling
Hmm.
the wall, and for a
Right.
split fucking second, the wall was like a liquidy
Right.
thing, like, and then it just hardened up, and it nobody believed me. I told my parents, told everybody, nobody believed, nobody. And then it happened again, same story,
Right.
different house, but this isn't about um. But fuck those guys,
Right.
ugly fuck.
So,
I'll beat one of their asses live on YouTube.
right. So,
I'm calling it. I'm calling it right here, right now. Big pussies. Come on, let's go.
so Matt, so if it had dragon scales, it wasn't a Fomorian. Like I said, the Fomorians, they tend to the just rougher skin. If they have scales, it's more like the alligator scales, just embedded skin level, really.
A
Uh, right.
Fomorian,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
is a lizard person,
Yeah. Yeah. What the
right?
common ufology community calls reptilians, and what
Which
they
is
often miscall Alpha Draconis, because they are not the dragons. They're the invaders from another universe. They're actually the remnant of the invaders from another universe.
that's my girl talking right there. She says it's hard to describe such things. That's why it's some place to disbelieve others' experiences or what they saw for whatever reason.
Right.
That is the wisest thing I've read all night. Um um so if you had to judge
Hmm.
how many races of people that were among us right now that don't look like us or you, because you look like us,
Hmm.
right? You pass.
I pass until they start doing the biological evaluations.
Is there is there like certain ones that have been explained, like a praying mantis type?
Yeah. So the thing that we're looking at is that not all of the others are coming to be here right now, but Earth itself, with the biological breakdown on family, genus, and species, um, understand that uh, all of the families of animal life on Earth are representative of that species being the dominant sentient species of another world in this galaxy. That's not other galaxies, that's just this galaxy. Um, so when you see like the mantis, you got your family and then genus, and then you got your species for the specific type of mantises. When it comes to speciation is purely for evolutionary need. It's to gain advantage in the environment that they live in, so that they can have a better chance of survival. So it's not that specific species you see here exist on other worlds, but those species are descendants of a family that
Well,
is
I
on
think
another
of
world.
the reason I asked you about that is because of there was a report of like
Mhm.
5 people called in to read the cops saying that they
Mhm.
were down by the river, a local river, and there was a about a 7 or 8 foot praying mantis just staring at them, and
Right.
it was just kind of it would kind of go up a hill and meander, and would have kept watching everybody.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of used some form of camouflage or some sort of a,
Yep.
Invisibility cloak, and got the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And people have been asking about that for years. I mean, I don't know. It was just one of those things that I know you probably don't know it. I mean, it's hard for you to know everything about
Right.
those kind of things. I mean, Jesus, you know a lot, but I know you can't know it all. Nobody does.
Yeah, that's part of the thing, is that a human body can't contain what we are. It doesn't have the structure for it. So we have to fragment off a piece of ourselves that, functions like an AI. It's like there's too much knowledge in the universe that can't fit into that stress 8 package. So let's go with a little bit of, reduced data and make you into a standalone program, right? And we will have access to different abilities at different times in our lives when they're necessary for something or whatever. And we will be put into a state where we trigger change. And we have to be able to have our program rewrite itself as needed. So it's adaptive. And so, right now, because of the position that I need to be in for what's coming, I've been suppressing my abilities for quite some time. There's still some that happens no matter what. But I've been suppressing my abilities so that I am the least intimidating as possible when it
But
comes
you
to
are.
when people.
You are. You're not intimidating, and you're not forcing.
Yeah.
You're not being a dick about it. You could be, but you're not a dick about it.
Right.
And that's important.
And that's one of the things, is I have a hard time balancing the line between being stern because somebody needs to hear the message, versus raising up the scepter and doing a royal bonking. uh, it's hard to have that middle ground, because for me, I'm processing all the information of all the broken systems that have been put in place around the world. And I literally have the whole map of all that in my head. And I'm always watching what's happening with it. The social engineering, the changes to the food supply, the changes to the funding of the food supply, the pharmaceutical company buying up the company that creates your food supply. Yeah, all of these different pieces, as they go in place, and I
Yeah.
understand what's being done through through the food supply, through pharmaceuticals, through chemicals, through changes to the education system, and a bunch of other things. Humanity is being dumbed down. And
Yeah, buddy, as I sit here and toke on my marijuana.
but the thing is that no matter what happens, whatever level your IQ is at is what you're going to perceive your best IQ as being. So you're not
Well,
likely to notice if you get dumber, because the biggest thought you're capable of is the biggest thought you're capable of. And that's your rule of measure.
I know my IQ. It was given to me when I was 7. I know my IQ. I don't tell anybody my
Yeah.
But I know it, and
Yeah.
it's a number. How about that?
Yep.
At least
And
it's,
we do good things.
it's a 3 letter. It's a 3 number letters. Or what letter? What the fuck? See how smart I am. It's a
A
3 number,
3-digit number.
a 3 digit number. Thank God, somebody's smart, right? It's a 3 digit number, but it could
Yeah.
be a 101. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Could be. Could
And
could.
yeah, the camouflage capability in the creatures, that's something that I'm supposed to give as well. But that's part of my biological contribution.
How close are you to getting that done, you slacker? You're only trying to make people invisible,
that's
goddamn it. You act like you're trying to damn fucking make a Nintendo.
Oh yes, Gabber Beast. It was the Charles Xavier School for Gifted Children.
That's right. For all of us went to school.
No, I went to a regular school, but I was supposed to keep my abilities hidden. I was supposed to keep them secret. And I didn't do great with that.
I was
And
gonna
that's one of
say,
the main points of the book. That's actually the starting point of the book.
no little kid does good with that. Keeping secrets about how smart they are. They want to tell everybody.
Yeah.
I'm smart. You're not, dickhead.
I am smart.
No,
SMRT.
not saying you wrote like that.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Well, we've got. The thing is that you're like, you were making the joke. Why haven't you done this yet? And the thing is that this brings us to a discussion of protocols,
Total joke.
right? Because let's have the Star Trek discussion. Everyone who is worthy of geekdom understands the Prime Directive. So, within the Federation, they don't interfere in developing worlds until that world develops warp travel. And then they say, hey, let's talk about your interaction in our galactic community.
Exactly.
So, damn it, forgot where I was because I read chat.
They can't. Well, no, that wouldn't be right. Never mind. You fucked me up. Thanks a lot, Hnoss.
Did it.
Kidding. I do know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah. Okay. So we're looking at. This is fun. I'm actually trying to backtrack it. Going backwards.
Tristan Ellison, it's not important. We're all people here.
Yeah. Thank you, suspicious guys. We're talking about like Federation and Star Trek. Okay. Don't interfere with a civilization until they're ready to become part of the galactic community, because they have to understand they can't just come out here and screw around. Right. And that's how things would be here. But humanity is on the verge of destroying the planet multiple different ways. And humanity doesn't remember the job that they were given, that they're supposed to actually be taking care of the planet and taking care of all the other species, because those species are supposed to have the opportunity to develop to consciousness as well. And humans would be allowed to destroy themselves if they were just going to destroy themselves. But they have been decimating the entire population of the planet. And yeah, thank you, Matt. But humans have been decimating all the populations on the planet. Your government hasn't seen fit to tell you that in the last 50 years, humanity has decimated 70% of the totality of the animal populations on the planet. 70%. Last 50 years.
I wish you'd quit hitting me when I'm trying to make a point.
Yeah. You talking to the pipe?
Sorry about that. Next time, eat some decorum.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was me.
Yeah, but it's that humanity's about to blow up the planet. I know this because we've, been to this point 14 times before. We're on, so you all know, welcome to Earth 15. This is the 15th timeline. We're not able to reset it anymore. The resources that are utilized for resetting the timeline and branching off another one, along with the sub-Earths that come off of those,
I hate when she talks about that.
has created a circumstance where the position that this solar system is in the universe is having a breakdown between the individual timelines. The breakdown between the individual timelines is what's responsible for what you're seeing as Mandela effects. So you have people that are experiencing the memories of their counterparts from the parallel timeline to such an extent that they either remember both timelines or they remember the timeline that's not this one very fervently. That's the result of what's happening in the breakdown. It's also why we can't reset the timeline again, because if there was a timeline 16, it would end up just having completely broken reality, messed up with all the other timeline stuff jumping into it. They'd never have a chance at sorting anything out, and there's no way they could ever save themselves. So there won't be a 16. This is the last run. And on this milk run, all we need to do is to create a snowball effect. Yep, you got it, Space Kitty. We've got this circumstance where the progression of the timelines breaking down is accelerating. I've been watching, I keep my eyes on YouTube for all the weird stuff. There are a lot more circumstances of the parallel Earths intersecting and causing messed up stuff. That's only going to get worse until things come back to balance. But essentially, I am willingly giving the biological resources. I am willingly giving the archives and the records. I'm willing to have myself locked up for as long as it takes to save the world. And this is me literally sacrificing everything to try to get humans to save themselves. And, I'm offering technological advancements and all sorts of other things and explaining the threats that are there, how to identify them, how to validate them, how to counter them. Here's how you build the technology to do that. By the way, we have to stop multiple extinction level events, but I'm literally only offering you the world and your own survival and not asking for anything in return, but by all means, it's one of those things where there's just the frustration level on it that
Mine is very much the same way, just not in.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt.
This is more important.
Yeah, this is the prime directive thing
But
is that the Fomorians weren't supposed to be here. The Fomorians have been here screwing with humanity for thousands of years, trying to bring about corruption so that they can bring about the circumstances where humanity destroys the world.
let's go. Come on. Let's head over to Matt's wonderful Cerveau compound of fun. Come on. Let's go.
Yeah.
All we gotta do is run it down.
Thank you, Tristan.
There it is. You are fat. Oh. Now you're not talking about me.
Or are you talking about the joint?
I weigh 190 and I'm 6'6". I have cancer.
That's actually below weight for.
Yeah, I'm 6'6" and I'm very skinny. So, if I'll guarantee you one thing, Christian Allison, you have a little dick and you're fat as fuck. How's that sound? You can't even find it anymore.
No, it may have been a mistyping of what he meant to say.
I don't know about that.
We don't have to worry about that.
Even look, I don't care who you're talking to, and if it's unless it's and it's not, it wasn't conversational. I'm looking. It wasn't topical. It wasn't. Yeah, I spoke on the Zaza. He's just
It's all right. We don't need to spend any extra time on that. We have more important things to cover.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. I just don't want any chance of you being offended or me being offended because we're not about that. We are about
a supportive, positive environment and
God damn right.
Each other. I am literally here to give power to the people, to give them the ability to hold their governments accountable for what they have not done.
Can you do me a favor though? Can you explain to people, okay, about us, not us, but you know, because I'm involved in it. But can you explain to people about the Discord?
Right.
I don't think many people know about this. And know what's going on there.
Yeah, my YouTube channel, which I don't actually have any content on there because I'm not trying to be a content creator. That's not what my assignment is. I'm just supposed to give people what they need to start the ball rolling forward and then deliver the rest. But on my YouTube channel, there is a link for a Discord. The Discord is a place where all those who are interested in participating in either, people that want to watch the progress as it happens, or people that want to participate in the investigations and putting the information together and seeing what's being created that's going to change the world.
I'll put up.
You got that, suspicious skies. Shine on.
You crazy diamond.
One of the things I use in the book.
Jesus Christ. That was a big hit.
Sounds like that hit good.
Yeah, it did. Holy shit. I'm seeing 4 of you. Okay, now let's see if I can find your
I hear you, Space Kitty.
Site.
And see,
wait a minute.
The whole process is easy.
But just wait a minute. Oh man, I'm getting lost. Okay, no, I'm not. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. No, I'm not. I found it, but it's not in my history of shit that I've watched. Let me see, y'all. Maybe I've listened to some music before it, and I sure as fuck didn't. So, my friend, would you please Give it to us.
Oh, the Spotify?
The what? The excuse me, bacon pizza. What did you say?
I'm right here.
Do you? All right.
I mean this GG
I'm hoping.
in the private chat.
I'm hoping.
Yay! Tim's back
Where is it?
in the StreamYard window, private chat.
Oh.
Did you want me to send it in Discord instead?
Um.
Or are you talking about the Spotify playlist or the Discord link?
No.
The Discord
Well,
link is just in my YouTube, and they can get that anytime. Oh, the YouTube channel is Conspiracy Prime.
no. I got it. I got it. Cause I want to hear a couple things, man. I want to hear. Oh, I want to hear this one for Riz. Hold up. Let me get this one on the. Yeah. Oh, my favorite. All right. Where'd I go?
Remember, you don't want to get it shut down.
Yeah, I know. I'm only gonna play a few minutes. Then I'll play a few minutes of my last band. Wait a minute, what did I play? Definitely could. No.
Go to the top right to close that side panel.
I want to run. I want to hide. I want to break down all walls that hold me inside. I want to reach out and touch the flame where the streets have no name. I want to feel the sun on my face.
That's a good band.
Dust cloud disappear without a trace. I want to take shelter from poison rain,
Come on.
where the streets have no name.
Probably going to stall out on this
Where the streets have no name. Where the streets have no name. We're still building, we're burning down love.
BRB.
Burning down love. And when I go there with you.
Can't turn it off.
Where the streets have no name. I can't take my eyes off of you. Quite alright, I need you, baby, to one night. So let me love you, baby. Let me love you. Cities of fire. Our love turns
I got it. Holy shit. Sorry. Damn it. my whole monitor went out and everything was on that monitor. And, oh,
Ah,
I'm sorry, but
that's
just
okay.
in case, I'm gonna
Well,
play.
good night, Tim.
I'm gonna wait, Tim. Before you go to sleep, let me know what you think about this song. Um, um, okay, you might not like it. You know what? I don't feel like shouting it to you guys. Um, yeah. All right, fine. I'll do this one. I'll do the third mix just for you. Don't think it was never the words you say. Don't speak of a fool you call, yes. All we ever do is on the roll, yes. We join forces. All I never say. Say so you lie. Say so you lie. My tears will tell. We'll never live forever. It's time to tell our stories. This will be our down the stone again. Load up your guns, let's take this. We'll take this to our grave. Those words will never change. So bring it back up. Let's get this better. Don't say will never happen again. Never listen to a single word we ever said. This is how the story ends. Our hearts are never broken. We've been falling from the story of the first day we met. First day we met. We'll burn our bridges down. There, you heard one of the tracks.
Yeah.
Aren't you special? Aren't you special?
All right. Can you still hear me there?
Yeah, I still hear you.
Okay. I was just switching it over to my headphones because, they're so stylish and happy.
Well, make sure that you check out the playlist. Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
And yeah, Jimbo, the resetting the human mind is part of the stuff that we have to do. But the things that we have to do that fix the deficits in human cognitive capacity and consciousness are not something that people are going to do until you can lead them through all of the other stages that happen up to that point. And right now, the human population doesn't want to change. They've been conditioned into change being the number one source of trauma in their life. And that's for a reason. Because if you're trying to create a population that's a labor force that has neither the knowledge nor will to rebel against the system, that's what you want. So, we need to get the people to work within a framework of their psychological limitations for what motivates them right now, at this point in time. And that means offering things that they think are important right now, things that they desire. And that gets them to the next stage where they're going to want to go for things that are actually more important. And they're going to continue moving forward from there. You know, the cool thing with that prime directive aspect is that I'm not supposed to make the decisions. I'm just supposed to provide the information, show how it works, lead you through development on some technologies to make up for the 700 years behind that we are on this timeline. And, when you have the information in front of you, when you have the technology, it's up to you to decide what to do with it. The objective is for humanity to be able to prove that it can stand up to the Fomorians. Thank you, suspicious guys. But humanity has to prove it can stand up to the Fomorians and get rid of the corruption that the Fomorians brought to humanity, so that humans can return to the role they had before, where the celestial human relationship was just an open thing. It was understood. It wasn't relegated to mythology. And, we'll be there to help humanity through the rest of its maturation process. But what you see in this whole thing is not that we are forcing decisions on you. It's that we are providing you information upon which to make an informed decision. And
Right on.
it's up to you to take action or not.
Pretty noble. Yeah. Definitely a noble cause.
Yep. And people don't have to know the worst of the consequences for the decisions they make. If there's a clear decision to be made between one side and the other, I don't want to force anyone into making a decision, so I don't give them as much information as I possibly could. Because if people knew how dire things were, they would feel like they have to help, like they have to be part of fixing things just purely out of self-interest, not because they want to see a path to humanity being fixed. All right. See you later, suspicious guys.
Suspicious guys, where you going? You got somewhere else to be, you mother. Understood. Love you, brother. Yeah, it's getting kind of late. People on a Sunday or a Monday on a work day. God damn it,
Yeah.
I'm on a fucking. Hey, Walt's here.
Hey,
Hey, Walt. How you doing, Walter? I didn't see you down there for a second. I hope you weren't waiting long.
No, I wasn't going to come up till after the show.
Oh,
I was just,
there
I
you
was
go.
just going to, congratulate you
So,
on being masters of the universe. Yeah,
thank
We
you.
are.
great
That we
show.
are. I
Yep,
want to have
great
a.
fucking show.
I want to
Thank
start
you.
doing a show just with Hnoss, just about. It's up to her, obviously, but I would love. And it doesn't have to be like every week, every 2 weeks. It
Right.
can be whenever she has time. But I would like to just kind of sit here and just kind of bullshit with Hnoss about. I'll have a bunch of topics, and I'll just kind of throw shit at the wall and see what sticks with her.
Yeah.
Because I think it all will, because she's very, very intelligent. People who will go back and watch this later, I am no fool. None of us here are fools. Okay.
Right. And
Nos
yeah,
Nos is one of the most beautiful people that I've ever met, and has never told a lie. She has only been spot on with her beliefs. They've never wavered. They've never changed. Nothing has ever been, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. Oh yeah, this, that, and the other. She's been open
Yeah.
since day one. Okay.
Yep.
And just because she's not gonna show you powers and things like that, it doesn't mean that her intellectual prowess is obviously beyond most people. I mean, it's up there and probably beyond Mensa's group. She's quick is she's so quick she can tell you dates, names, locations, the feelings. She can tell you all of that within by the time you
Yeah.
even know what the fuck she's talking about.
Right.
So I know it's hard to hear about that maybe about yourself, but
Yeah.
I love I love you and I appreciate you and I think that you're a pretty amazing being. So thanks for hanging with us and thank you for doing this with me tonight.
I am
And
happy to be doing it.
well, good because I know you could have done something else, whatever it may be, Hnoss's time, but you decided to come on
I
here and
I am
do this with me.
I am most happy when there is forward momentum in the direction of the mission. And this is this thing.
And
I've been straightforward from the start. Hi, I'm here to give you information. I'm here to give you evidence. I'm here to give you technology. I'm here to
that's
give
what
up
gets me.
myself.
Nothing
And
has wavered since.
yeah, and I'm offering all of this. All you have to do is take it. You know, this is about putting power in the hands of the people. Power has been misused by the worst people in society to create the worst things in society. I'm offering you the ability to get around that, to fix it. And
Pretty amazing.
that's, yeah,
I get it.
it's there. People just need to step up to take that opportunity. And,
No,
you know, if I was full of shit, put it this way, it would be the dumbest thing in the world for me to say, I have evidence. Because you know who doesn't say I have evidence is all those people out there that pretend to be channeling for the Galactic Federation.
yeah,
All those people that pretend they're talking to fifth dimensional beings and talking about all these interstellar wars between these races and the, you know, Zeta Reticuli and all this other stuff. You know, there's not a single one of those people that's actually offered a scrap of evidence. I am. There's not any of those people that can provide biological evidence. I can. There's not any of those people that can offer technology. I am. There's not any of those people that can identify specifically the things that are a threat to humanity, the structural elements that have to be decommissioned, and a literal blueprint for how to do all of it. I have. I'm not anyone else that's out there in the social media sphere on this. There is no one that has done what I have done, that has said what I have said, that's willing to put themselves to the hazard over it. Because you know what? All of these people that claim to be channelers for Galactic Federation and all these alien races and stuff, if anybody actually believed that were true, they would have to acknowledge that they are a threat to national security. They would have to be willing to surrender themselves into the custody of the government.
yeah. You're right.
Because that's what it means to actually believe, to know, and to sacrifice yourself for someone else's good.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I hear you, Matt. But the thing is that I am the one that has to put myself in this situation every time it happens for a lot of background reasons. It's that the Fomorians are going to be dealt with. Either humanity deals with them or we do. And if we deal with them, that means that you proved you cannot take on the responsibility of being part of a galactic community. And you won't be having much of a life after that.
True.
You know, don't need to spell it out for the people that don't already know. But you look like you're at the tail end of a car wash there. Is fading.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe. It's been a long day. A long day. But we will continue.
Right.
Is it cool with you?
Yeah, yeah. If you want to continue.
Yeah.
So Matt,
Definitely.
the War of Stars thing that got like recorded in the paintings and the records that were there, um, that would have been when the majority of the Fomorian forces that were still here were taken out. They don't have a lot that are left right now. They've been staying underground. I mean, they've been doing that for thousands and thousands of years. They stay underground and just come out to stir up trouble. No, you're not screwed for hating humans, Matt. You just got to realize that you hate humans because humans are broken.
And they let you down.
Yeah. And if you could fix the things that are wrong, you'd like humans. They'd be kind of cool.
It kind of.
Nah, I know it's not the most down to earth thing to be cool with humans nowadays.
Yeah. But we will get back on part 2 and
Mhm.
3 and 4 and 5. We're just
Oh
gonna
yeah,
start busting balls all the time.
yeah,
Just talk and
right. Now, see, there's a big entertainment factor to all this for me too, because I know that in 3 days' time, the book will have been out for a year. And to know that that information is out there, that the potential for humanity to work on it has been there this whole time
that's
is
very cool.
it's yeah, it's an internal like
Where's
just
my?
inside joke.
What do you mean? That's worthy of a of 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 uh, yeah. Listen to
Wow,
that.
that was loud.
Uh-oh. Come on, come on.
I know you will, Matt.
They're excited as fuck for you. There you go.
Nice, Matt.
All right.
Well,
I'll look.
Susan, get the book.
Yeah, it's just a PDF file. Very simple. You just
Yeah,
download it and
go
then
to
you read it on your phone.
yep, go to conspiracyprime.com. You can download the book for free from there.
Yeah, it's Do it. It's a good read. You'll definitely enjoy it, like I have several times. Let's see. Finances for Christmas, etc. Susan, it's free. Get your head
Yeah.
out of your
The,
Australian
the
buttocks. It's free.
the book is free. That's
I'm just kidding,
$0.
Susan.
When you translate it over to Australian money, it's still
Yeah,
0.
it's still 0. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding you, Susan.
Conspiracyprime.com. Hop on there. You can download it. And oh, you got it. Good.
Yes, I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. You guys were wonderful. I
Yes.
love you guys. Thank you, Wally, for having us over.
Thank you for having me,
And
Gigi.
hey, thanks for coming up on such short notice. I want to do it again
Yeah.
a lot with you. I
Yeah.
really appreciate you. And not only that, I also want a time whenever we can just sit and just talk about
Yeah.
random things, 80s,
Yeah.
90s, pop culture from then,
Oh, yeah.
just bust balls and talk. There's
Yeah.
no limit.
Yeah. And and
I thought
and
about
I
you doing that before.
yeah, I love that part of the human experience, and for me it is a cognitive experience when I'm interacting with people. I'm not just processing the direct interaction, but it's a lot of
Y-
layers. So
Yeah,
it's like I
it is.
appreciate the everything that's on the layers of interaction.
Me too. Like,
Yeah.
just think, the sense of humor, the different layers of sense of humor.
Yeah. And
I
for
mean,
me, it's all trying to soak in as much of it as I can. Because if humanity doesn't get off their asses and put their shit together, I'm gonna run out of this.
well,
And that's no
we,
fun for me. I mean, that's like one of my major motivators right there. I will
well,
be bored
we want to keep
if
you
all the
around.
humans are gone.
Yeah, well, shit. I mean, you might not be. Well, unless you had some sort of a supercar thing that you could ride everywhere and visit everywhere with. But God forbid you'd have to walk everywhere or drive some Pinto. Yeah, he'd be better with us. Better with us. So, yeah, yeah, that'll be what we'll do. We'll have a good time. We'll have good times. Don't worry about it. And you can even invite that Odessa chick too. I don't mind.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, I'm sure she'll be in. Earlier starts are easier for her.
Yeah, she's dope. She's dope. I like her, but you know,
Yep. Well, and that's one of the
um,
fun things, and I'll guarantee you'll have to have her on because the thing is, we didn't even get to why it was so important for her to be here just in
I
case.
know, I know, and I want. Okay,
Um,
so next time we do it, we'll
hmm
do it earlier
hmm
because I literally asked you to do this at about 7:59.
Right,
Some bullshit,
right.
and you were like,
Let's
well,
do it.
yeah, yeah, let's
Yeah,
do it. And I'm
yeah,
like, and I was like, oh, okay, great. But
yeah,
I didn't think of Odessa, it being late for Odessa, so I fucked that up. We'll do it earlier next time, whatever
yeah,
times works for
yeah,
her, because I want her in it as much as you, because she plays a very valuable part in a lot
yeah,
of areas in your life. So
yeah,
and which lead to my overall narrative that well, I think is important
yeah,
for, for people,
yeah, yeah.
and we'll go from there, right?
You got it.
All
We're
right.
gonna
Well,
we're gonna get out there and we're gonna keep making more information available, and
that's the
hopefully get
plan.
some more people convinced to explore the possibilities that lay before them.
That's the plan. I have some things I'd like to run by you too about it.
Yeah,
Just nothing that I can't tell you some other time, but it's just something I'd like to talk to you about to get the word out.
yeah,
That's we'll talk. Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, Nas, I love you. You know that, and I will see you in Odessa soon. Thanks
You
again for
will
coming on my show.
absolutely. Thank
You're
you for having me.
anytime.
And
You know
thank
that you have.
everyone else that's here and that showed up,
Yes,
that's come and gone. We appreciate you all.
yes, yes. And like I said, you have carte blanche here. Anytime you need to come on to do anything, you just come right on.
Is
You
that the same thing
always
as the
welcome.
dessert cart? I can just take all the different pieces off.
I wish we could share a dessert cart right now because I'm super
Yeah.
hungry for some dessert,
Yeah,
like some,
I need to
like
eat my
some,
breakfast slash dinner.
like right now. Speaking of that, I, all I want is a Pop Tart, like a
Right.
pack of Pop Tarts.
Right.
I really want a Pop Tart,
And
but I
not
bought.
actually out of the toaster, but just out of the package, right?
Well, I'm thinking about putting them in the toaster just to be crazy this time.
Yeah.
Usually I'll eat them right out of the package because I'm a lazy fuck. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking I might actually do it the right way, and I might eat them with a glass of milk, and that'll be nuts, nutty. No, I don't do that
Oh,
normally.
yeah.
I usually
Right.
drink them with water, which is boring.
Okay. So here's the thing.
What what's the thing?
If you're gonna eat the Pop Tarts, the question is, do you have Nutella?
No,
Oh no.
I wish I did.
Yeah,
Now you make me
that
feel
changes it.
bad that I don't have
Well,
Nutella.
that's the thing is like I
I
don't
got
have
peanut butter.
Nutella.
I got peanut butter,
Do you have a bag of chocolate chips in the kitchen?
chocolate chip. No, man. I'm a bachelor, dude.
Okay.
I don't
So
I
so
don't have
here's the
much
deal.
in there.
This is a deal. This is gonna change your life a little bit. This is
Okay.
just gonna change your life a little bit. So you take one of them, big jars of creamy peanut butter, all right,
All
and
right.
you take it all out of the jar and you put it in a pot on, low heat because you're melting the peanut butter. Okay.
Okay. All
And
right.
then you take the big bags of the type of chocolate chips you like. I like the semi-sweet, the shiny ones, right?
Okay.
And you dump that in the peanut butter. And again, you keep it on the low medium heat and you melt the chocolate into the peanut butter. And when it's all good and melted, you pour it back into the peanut butter jar. Now you have your own chocolate peanut butter Nutella.
Sweet. But your feet have it too.
It's good. But
It's
wait, there's
bonus.
more. If Matt's still here, the thing is that that's actually the recipe that I use for making survival food. The difference is once you got the peanut butter and chocolate melted together, then you pour it over a container of quick oats. You stir it up, mix it up. Now, if you want, you can just then take those, put them out on wax paper, spoon them out on wax paper. Those become chocolate peanut butter oatmeal cookies, which, it's not like eating oatmeal cookies. No, it's just chocolate peanut butter with the oat for the texture. Um, but if you put that into the jars, you can set that up on the shelf. It will dry out. It will dry out and become solid.
Gnarly.
Um, and that means that anytime that you're craving something, you can just chip off a chunk of the chocolate peanut butter oatmeal chunks. It's like having a jar of cookie.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. You crazy son of a bitch. You. Love having you, Hnoss. You know that. I love you. And I will see
Absolutely.
I'll get with you for the next show whenever we
You got it.
get a little deeper
Yep.
and it's not so
Yeah.
impromptu and all that good
Yeah.
stuff. Okay.
Absolutely. You got my my Discord, and I know you'll
You
pop
know,
me a message when you're up and thinking.
I always pop your messages when I'm thinking about you. So
Yep.
I'll see you then. And tell Odessa
Hmm.
I think about her quite often when I'm when I pray.
Meditating. Yes, when you
Yeah,
pray. Yeah.
meditating is what I meant to say. And have a good night, buddy.
You
Have a
got
good
it,
night.
Joe.
Night.
Night. All right, that was good old Hnoss. Hnoss has been a friend of mine for quite a bit now. Hnoss has a big story to tell. Go and check her book out. Her book is amazing. Her book is a journey through many things, and but it's good. So other than that, that's all I got to say about that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play my song one more time. Yeah, I'm gonna do it because you like it. Come on, you know it's an earworm. Uh, uh, Yeah, you know it is. Come on, baby, play with me. Play it with me. Ready? I love you. I love you more. Let's say Monday. Why am I on a Monday? I'm a freak like that. I'm a freak. Um, what's the song? Oh, I can't remember. It was a good rap song, but I fucked it all up. That happens.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? My strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe we can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Why am I still here? I got lost. I got lost in that rad song. Um, I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye. I don't know what the fuck I did wrong. In fact, nothing. I have nothing. I have nothing. All my shit's gone, and you know, this is only what a few seconds. Here we go. No, that was a little too short. What we'll do is I'll do a dance. How about that? I'll do a little jig. What what do you want? All right. I love you. I'll see you later. I'm gonna play this one more time and I'm gonna go bye bye. I'm gonna go bye bye and hopefully have a good night. Probably probably won't though. But I'm open. I'm open. I'm hopeful. I love you. I can't play cool music on here. Well, yeah, I can. I can play the music that's my copywritten too. So yeah, I could technically do it. Let me find one that's copywritten to me, or I am part of it. You probably won't like it. Nobody likes my music. Everybody hates on my music. Oh yeah, that's perfect. All right, perfect, perfect. We had two vocals. I'm the first guy. You whatever. I don't even want to do this one. You guys really gonna make me do this? You're gonna really embarrass me? Are you gonna embarrass me like this? All right, fucking hell. Here we go. Butter me up. Last thing I'm gonna do. All right, here we go. There's nothing. It's just this album cover of the demo. Let's start it over. Today's our day, we should say for silencing. Whisper words that crush my eyes heavy with your fingertips. Breathe in your name. We'll never be the same again. Every day's all the same thing. Today's our day, we should say the silencing. Every day's all the same thing. Today's our day, we should say the silencing.
whisper words that crush your lips heavy with my fingertips, breathing my name. We'll never be the same again.
Oh, it break.
Every day's all the same thing. Today's our day, we should say for silencing. Every day's all the same thing. Today's our day, we should say for silencing. Every day's all the same thing. Today's our day, we should say for silencing. Every day.
Oh, bring it. Sit down. You want to hear a little harder one? I'll play it. I'll play one more. And it's a little harder. Just. Um, let's see. Um, try. Let's try this one. I don't know what this one is. I know it's. Let me try it. It's definitely a punk rock song.
Don't think it's never the worst you see. Don't speak, I'm a fool and you quiet. All we ever do is start and roll, yeah. We join forces. I will never say you stole your life. Say you stole your life. Our chance will tell. We'll never live forever. Sweet 16 held a pride around love, but we bounce and we dance with every step that we took. We grew apart, but then we rolled and when we grown up, the bounce in a step is completely tired. Our tears will tell, we'll never live forever. It's time to tell our story. This will be our trip down to town, our story again.
Let's see if there's one more. Last one. Last one. Oh yeah. One more.
Don't think it was never the words you said. Don't speak up before you quiet. All we ever do is start a riot. And we join forces. Saying something like, saying something like, we'll never live forever. It's time to tell our stories. This will be our haunted town. Drop down, I'm stone again. Load up your guns, let's take this into the wilderness. Out in the valley of the great unknown. Oh, where there's no going back. Sweet 16 out of pride around the. We bounce and we dance with every step that we take. But now we're older and we're grown up. The bouncing and step was completely dried up. We'll never live forever. It's time to tell our stories. This will be our hearts ripped out. Drop down, I'm stone again. Load up your guns, let's take this into the wilderness. Out in the valley of the great unknown. Oh, where there's no going back. Don't take this too hard. Those words will never change. Don't bring it back up. Let's keep this buried. Will never happen again. We'll never listen to a single word they ever said. And this is how the story ends. We're never falling from the starting of the first day we met. We'll burn our bridges down. We'll burn our bridges down.
So we got a long way somewhere. We just say yo. And down. And believe around. Yes, 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 yes,
Call me cynical, but if we make it through the night, it'll be a miracle. We'll fight back against the wall. Listen, there's 1,000 things to say, but with that.
Wait a minute. Oh, man. Idiot. Hold on.
All these times, these are the days that shape our lives. We're taking everything right into our stride. To keep them off our backs when we make a getaway. Yes. There's something going down in here.
I don't fucking know. Why are you being a dickhead for? Let's try this. Stop. Go back here. Then we'll go back to here. Here. Then we'll go here. I'll even letting me. There you go. Are you gonna let me in the StreamYard or not? What the fuck? I think it wants me to kill StreamYard. So you know what? We'll kill StreamYard. I don't know why it does that over my face. Live viewers. Can you get off my screen, StreamYard? You fuck nut, cock fucking prick. Alright, here we go. Well, it doesn't do me any good, because you're still there. StreamYard. Oh. You're not there anymore. Shut up. Shut up. Let's get to oh man. Oh man, shoot. Oh man, okay. Oh man. I don't even know where my shit is anymore. You know that? They come in here and search warrant. No, I can't find it. Oh no, enough of that. There might be a. I don't know, but you know what we are gonna hear? We're gonna hear this one because I feel like I am. Okay? Hopefully we can hear it. Because I sure as fuck can't hear it. Yeah, I sure as fuck can't.
You try to play cool like you just don't care, but soon I'll be playing in your underwear. I'm like a mage with a magic spell. You come like a dog when I ring your bell. I got the money and I got the fame. You got the hots to ride on my plane. You're giving me all that I desire. 'Cause down with me, I'm taking you high. I'm the baddest of the bad. I'm the best that you've ever had. I'm the tops, I'm the thing. All the girls get up when I sing, yeah. I'm the meanest in the place. Step up, I'll mess with your face. I don't care where you are. Look up and follow the star. Oh, I'm gonna tear down the wall. I may not be here when you call, so best be giving me your all. Ooh. After the havoc that I'm gonna read, no more words will critics have to speak. I've got the answers to the tangled knot. Sleep tight in your...
Thanks for coming. Love you. I'll see you later. Um, Later is in probably tomorrow or like tomorrow, Walt. So I'll see you then. God love you. God kisses you on the forehead and baby kisses on. Love you. Lights. Lights.